Hi, I'm Streaky, this is Shay, this is Metropolis Mastering. Today we're discussing all the gear and no idea. So all the gear and no idea, we're kind of talking about people that have got a habit of wanting just to buy kit all the time. Now, I've said on many videos about having every single plug-in, and that's kind of the poor man's version of buying kit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You're spending 100 quid on a plug or whatever rather than buying kit.
£4 on a piece of gear.
But if you see people on Instagram and stuff, as you do, tons of gear.
Loads of gear, and it gives the impression, I can understand it, because it does give the impression that they must be a big deal, or they must be really good.
It's
and
good for the
business
blag.
must be, business must be amazing.
Yeah.
But there's no way that some of the things that I see, there's no way they use all of that stuff. Like I can't. It wouldn't sound good if everything in that picture was used.
Yeah.
And like you must know, in order to know what that piece of gear is, to buy it and have the money to buy it, you must know what it does, and you must kind of know you don't need to use that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think anybody watching, you only need an EQ and a compressor.
That's it, 2 bits.
For mastering, different for mixing.
I mean, even for mixing, like you can do as much as you can nowadays in the box, and if you want to get that outboardy sound, you just need a couple of bits, like a nice EQ.
Or like the path you're going into the gear.
Yeah, like the mix bus path, like the final part it goes into.
Yeah, or the mic preamps and all that sort of stuff.
I mean, recording-wise, I can understand outboard gear, because if you've got a nice mic and a nice pre, you get a nice sound. But when it comes to...
But then you only need a certain ones of those. You don't need 10.
I mean, I suppose it depends. It depends on what you're recording. Like if you're recording a drum kit and you want to do every single mic, you've got 16 mic setup or something. Or like even if it's just an 8 mic setup, you still need 8 really good pre's.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're mixing it, you only need a stereo compressor and a stereo EQ at the end of the chain just to get that warmthness, rather than 7 EQs and 8 like lovely compressors. You're not using them all. There's no way. And if you are, why?
Well, and you're not using them. I mean, I also see that then people have got, I've said before about processing, but they'll have all the kit and then like have loads of, so then we say no idea. It's like they've got mental settings on equipment, and you think to yourself, well, you obviously haven't spent enough time with that one bit of equipment to hone it enough to know that, okay, you only need to do a little bit of this. Because you're too busy going like that, and then you've got another bit of kit on, you're changing it, and then another bit you're changing it.
If you're I can't
believe I've done that now. I've ruined my standard settings.
Well, if you're
I'll never come back to this.
If you're
spitting at
I was going to say, I can't believe they've actually gone that far. It's probably, I thought they'd get the stuck or something.
There is, they don't go too far. It won't work again.
But like if you're adding like 8, 9, 10 dB, and you're taking away like 9 dB on something,
Well, because all you're doing is taking off one and adding to another, and it's like, there's no point.
You're making it worse. Like, there's no need to go this far.
Because I find that when I do that, if I'm adding loads to the top, then I have to add loads to the bottom to bring it up. Because
so then after that, you've got to go more. You've got a DS.
I'm turning it up, basically. I know I'm turning it up with curves, but not by that much, especially at mastering stage where you've only got a fine amount of headroom to play with.
So I can understand a gear obsession. I can understand wanting to have gear, but I don't understand.
It's fun to hear it and it's fun to play with it, and it can add to your arsenal. So in fairness, if you've got a piece of kit, I might use that occasionally.
But I mean, when you're looking at doing something, or if you want to be a mastering engineer or a mix engineer, if you're looking at getting your stuff done by someone, don't necessarily look at the gear list, kind of listen to what they've done and understand what they've done in the past and what their track record of sound is like, rather than...
I'd be looking at their room.
Looking at where they are.
Kit. I'd be looking at their room. I'd be looking at, your speakers in the right place. All the things I always talk about, the basics of where are the monitors, what are the monitors, what's the outside of the room like, where's he sitting, what kit's he got in front of him, has he got stuff around the room? That's what I'd be looking at. I'd be looking at what's the environment like. Okay, fine, he's got all that sorted.
Is he actually moving that
matter.
far?
It doesn't actually matter what kit he's got now, to a point. Because that, as long as he's got the core stuff correct,
the environment that he's in is.
Then you go, okay, right. Well, he knows what he's doing. He can hear what he's doing, should I say? And when he can hear what he's doing, then he knows to do little fine tweaks, because he knows that all the little things make the big thing.
Yeah.
So he knows his little cables are right, and he knows that he's having the things sitting there and not having like, you know, different types of, you know, different absorbers in the right place and things like that. And then it's like, okay, fine. If you've got certain little pieces of kit, then good. But usually most people, if they do know what they're doing, they have got the basics right, they tend not to have loads of kit because they don't need it. As you're saying, you only need
a couple of bits. Like I love it when I see like someone's studio and it's nice and like clear. I mean, mine's a tip. Let's be honest, mine's not that great, and it's like a bit of a mix mash of stuff. But it's what I like seeing, a nice clean studio and like a really nice easy setup where everything's kind of everything's kind of in front of you, and a couple of bits of gear, a couple of nice bits of gear, and you kind of know from that whoever it is knows what they're doing because they know that that's all they're going to need, not rather like racks and stacks of gear. When it's, I can understand, okay, if it's a professional studio somewhere and they kind of need all that gear for all of that, for that reason, there's going to be loads of different people coming in. But a personal studio or a personal mixing or mastering engineer that has racks and racks of gear, there's no possible way they're using all of that gear on every project.
No, or could want to use it. Why would they bother? It's an ego trip, really, isn't it? And it's a lot of it is just smoke and mirrors. Yeah. For not being able to actually get, you know, the right result of what they want. Yeah. So I'd be looking at what their speakers are on. Yeah. What speakers they've got. Again, I can repeat myself, but that's what you should be looking for, and listening to their results. So don't just keep buying loads of equipment for the hell of it, because it's a total waste of time. I've been guilty of this in the past.
Well, I have as well.
Because that's why I know about it.
But the more you do
these things, you do them yourself, and then you go, oh, God. Yeah. And you get people then going, oh, what's that bit of kit you used? It was terrible. Yeah. Well, you've changed what you're doing. Yeah. You're thinking, that's because I bought that new bit of kit.
And you feel you need to use it.
And I've used it on everything now.
Yeah, you feel like you need to use it. And don't pick a mix engineer or a mastering engineer because of their gear list. Yeah. Like, they could have the best gear list in the world. It could all be rented from Funky Junk or somewhere. But they might not be the best person for the job. Whereas you've got one guy that's got maybe 2 bits of outboard gear and knows his plugins and his gear inside out and can get an amazing sound. But the gear list is 2 or 3 things on it. Like, oh no, we'll move to the guy that's got everything on there. Like, that's not what you're going to get. Like, you don't listen to a track and go, God, that Masalek sounds sick on that. No way you know that what was used in it. You just know that it sounds good.
Like the ironic thing of this is that I'm sitting in front of
loads of gear,
15 Masalek EQs, but you've got to realise this is a surround room, so there's like big PMCs like behind the camera, and you can see one in the middle.
Yeah, but still, every piece of gear in here, we've said it before, we say it in nearly every video, you don't use every single bit of gear here in every single track.
No. And I use EQs. That's an MS EQ. Yeah, that's if I want both sides on a Masalek. Single sides,
and you know what each one is good for. You know what is good for what.
Things.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
it,
not
really.
plus
that's
10, plus 8,
multi-band, couple of compressors. But I tend not to use compression anyway. I don't really like it. It's more EQ. So, I think that's kind of
pretty much it. Yeah, all the gear, no idea, no need.
Please subscribe. Please leave some comments, because that gives us ideas on what to do and what to talk about. Thanks for watching. Till next time.